I think people tend to simplify things sometimes too much. Okay, when you're comparing an overmold type of hatchet like the one on the left to a traditional wood handle hatchet like the one on the right, a lot of people make the assumption quickly and just stick with the assumption that if the handle on the right were to break, if this one here were to break, it would be very simple to just find another piece of wood and fashion a handle and replace the handle, and you'd be off and running. A lot of people are very quick to think also that if for some reason you broke the overmold plastic on this one in the head release, that you just wouldn't have an axe anymore. Okay? The fact of the matter is, rehandling this one would actually be harder in a survival situation than this one. And the reason is, getting the head off of the remaining piece of wood in the first place would be a tremendous task. Okay? If you think about the fact that the manufacturer designed this thing so that it doesn't come off of that piece of wood in the first place, what really makes you think that you could hammer it out of there with a stick and a rock without even holding it in a vise or anything? Okay? Getting the remaining piece of wood, remaining bit of handle out of this head in the first place is going to be your biggest challenge. Yeah, we could certainly all carve another handle. That's the easy part. But getting the remaining piece out of here is the harder part. It was designed to not come out. Okay? Whereas with the overmold type of hatchet, if this were to split and release this head, yeah, you'd be throwing away that plastic handle, no problem. But with the head being narrower and also having these grooves here, with it being grooved and narrower, it would be easier to find a forked stick and fashion a handle with a forked stick and lashing, and you still at least be able to be hatcheting with this, much like the Native Americans did with their stone axes. Okay, so our short assumption, our quick assumption would be that the wood handle will be easier to replace than the plastic handle, when in fact you'd just throw the plastic handle away and you'd start from scratch and go back to the Stone Age and just think of this as a really good Stone Age axe and wedge it into a good fork and lash it in, and you'd be good to go, whereas you'd still be beating around trying to figure out how to get that piece of wood out of this one.